them to get an equal share. And until you give it them back, there'll be no peace.
All right. Welcome to the Sunday Spotlight. We're back in the house. Took a little hiatus for just a moment to get some things in order. But we got a great guest with us today. Mr. Charles is in the house, and he had a rough one, but he's still here. That's called dedication, baby. Dedication. I'm here, too. I'm tired as hell. I had a long military day. It's still going. I probably had to go back and do some more stuff, but I had to break away to get here and do this. So you guys deserve the best. We're going to try to give you the best. Well, actually, we're not going to try. We're going to give you the best. And we're going to do what we can to make sure that you're informed and that you understand what is going on with our youth in today's society. So it's a new month, February. We got a new theme in the house. That theme is changing the bigger picture. So that's the theme of the month. We'll be focusing on guests and talking about things that fall under that venue. But that is the theme of the month, changing the bigger picture. So good afternoon and welcome to the Sunday Spotlight, brought to you by the One More One Less Mentoring Program. I'm your host / mentor, Mr. Tony Hinton, and joining me today is my co-host and mentor, Mr. Charles Pratt. He's in the house, yes. We hope you had an exciting week, and it was a good one for you, and we hope that we can make a difference for you today when it's all said and done. However, before we get started on today's show, I want to quickly give a shout out to everyone who makes the show possible, Mr. Ron Beezer and the entire One More One Less Mentoring Program. And of course, our producer, DJ Big Nick, and the Mix Station Radio family. So we appreciate you, Nick, coming down and doing what you do for us. So definitely kudos for that. Now let's meet our guest for today's episode, Mr. Durell Howell, a self-published author of the book called Rapgoals, a 365-day guide to success. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well, man. How you guys doing today?
Lovely, as you have already heard.
Yeah.
We are in the house, man. We want to thank you definitely for coming out and joining us today, and I can't say thank you enough for what you've written so far. I'm looking forward to definitely reading into it. I think you have a great piece of art, in my sense, art. Work in that book there. So, but we're going to discuss all that, and we want to thank you for being with us today. For real, we appreciate
Thank you for having
that.
me.
Now, the Sunday Spotlight is about addressing the issues our young people are facing today and empowering not only them, but you, the listener, with the knowledge and resources to build solid foundations and a sense of purpose for not only our young people, but for you as well. And we're serious about our business. The Sunday Spotlight not only talks about the social issues facing our youth, we present the organizations, the programs, and the people who are making positive differences and changing the mindset of our youth and our communities. Not just here in Baltimore City, but throughout the country. Now, if you missed last week's show, our theme for February is going to be pretty much changing the bigger picture. So that is the theme for the month. So I just want to reemphasize that as well real quick as we move forward. And our question of the day is kind of broad, but I think it's a decent one. If you could create an ideal environment for our youth, what would it be? Once again, if you could create an ideal environment for our youth, what would it be? So we'll get into the question of the day as we go through our panel discussion, and I'll go from there. I also want to remind you this is a live studio broadcast, and we'll be streaming on various social media outlets like our own OMOL Facebook page, Mix Station Radio, Instagram, and various other social media outlets. Now, understand this. We want your feedback and input, so don't be afraid to hit us up and join in on our conversations. You can hit us up directly on our OMOL Facebook page or give us a call here at the station at 1-855-493-6499. Again, that number is 1-855-493-6499. All right, so let's jump into this round table. Okay. I'm going to start with you first, because Charles is still waking up.
All right, okay.
So I will give him a moment on this one. So first question, and it's a pretty simple question, but it holds a lot of weight.
Okay.
So first question, well, not really a question or a statement. Describe what success looks like to you. What do you think success looks like to you?
All right. So one, I think success is different in everyone's eyes. So everyone's going to have a different answer, right?
Right.
So for me, success looks like just freedom to do what I want to do. So freedom to say, well, okay, I want to wake up and go take my kids to school today. Freedom. After that, I'm going to the gym, and then I'm gonna go do what I want to do as far as being out here in the business world. So that would be like success to me. It wouldn't be like a dollar value. It would just be more so of a sense of
mental, like a mental state of mind in some sense.
Well, just financial freedom, and then just freedom to kind of just do what you want to do
and when you please and when you're ready, pretty much. Okay, so all right, cool. What are your thoughts, Charles? What do you think?
It's right around that same vein. Peace of mind came to my mind immediately.
I know that's right.
Just I mean, we stress over so many different things in the world. You know what I'm saying? But to be successful, I mean, yes, it includes a monetary thing. It has to. I mean,
you say there should be a reward at the end. You think?
Yeah, I mean, we work hard. You know what I'm saying? So
happiness a reward?
It can be.
Happiness is definitely a reward. But you can be happy. But when you say success, I'm really thinking of, like you were saying, like the ability to kind of that freedom to go and do what you need to do, to be where you need to be, where you want to be, without really thinking too heavy on either the financial burden or the emotional burden,
possible
physical burden, that sort of thing. So success is it's getting to those goals that you set.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And we always know that our goals are ever changing. So,
especially as we get older.
Right. Now, can you reach a level of success and just stay there? Yeah, you can, but you get stagnant and you get bored.
Right.
So you have to create new goals, new aspirations. So
yeah, definitely. So I know for me, like I said, pretty much on point. We definitely agree on that page. I guess I define success too in little things that we do. You know what I mean, to get us to a bigger picture or a bigger point. You know what I mean. So just being able to wake up that day, it's a success. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Being blessed in that manner to even have the opportunity to even think, how am I going to plan this day out that's going to make it best for me? You know what I'm saying? The opportunity to engage with other individuals and make a difference in some form or fashion, whether they be youth or adults or something like that, to be able to reach out and see that I changed this person. It may take a little time, but every step is a success.
Yeah.
I was able to break through and talk to this individual on this level, or I was able to develop this contact. You know what I'm saying? Or I was able to get this guest on the show. You know what I'm saying? So I think success is measured in small increments in some sense.
Yeah.
And then once you put that all together, depending on if it matches your goals and what you were trying to achieve for that moment, or maybe even that day or that week, is success in that sense. You know what I'm saying? My family's still alive. My kids are still doing their thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's success. I define it in so many different ways.
Gotcha.
But there are little things that build up to that. So definitely that. Definitely. Anything else on that, or
no?
pretty
I
good
agree,
with
man. Just waking up. That's
that's
right
a
there.
success right there.
Right. So going around that, when we look at our youth piece of it, and even with some young adults as well, if you had to choose a dream job outside of athletics and entertainment, what would it be, and how would you get there? So,
a dream job.
Your dream job, what would it be, and how would you get there? What would you do to get there?
I would either trade stocks or internet marketing. So I would just be reading a bunch of stock books and stuff like that. And studying the market.
Okay, so a market analyst or some sort, stock analyst.
Oh yeah, you could be like your own
consultant.
You could just be your own type broker at home. You can do it at home. Just pretty much, I can just make my own money just at home, just sitting there. Just sitting in front of the computer at 9:30 and just waiting for the market to open.
Oh, okay.
And then just
so you're working on that now, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? That's what you're working on right now, right?
So that's a ongoing thing. That's something you can do when you're 80. I need some glasses and zoom in on my computer.
And a screen, and
I'm good. I can make my trades and keep going and read the news and look what's going on
and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. What about you, Charles? What do you think your ideal job would be?
I'm living it.
Oh, you living it right now?
I'm living
no, I
it.
mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
If you, between the 3 jobs that I have, between
you got 3 jobs,
with mentoring, my main job, and my side business. Yeah, I feel like this is where I'm at. So
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
If I can dump one,
yeah, you can dump one.
It'd be the main job, but that requires a level of, sacrifice and dedication, stepping out on faith, really pushing, even harder than what I am now for the other two side
for the
projects.
other two, for the side projects,
Yes.
pretty much. Would that probably be the end goal, though? Will those overtake that one, or is that the direction you want to head in, or something to that nature?
The biggest goal that I want is like an entire network. That's something that expands well beyond just my scope of things. I want to content creators and authors such as Mr. Howell. Just anybody, especially for the African American community. I want to be able to make sure that we get our seat at the table, if not take over the table.
Oh, I like that. Oh yeah, I like that. I like the way that sounds all together. I don't know what my ideal dream would be. Pretty much, ideal job wise, dream job. When I think about that, I don't know what that would be, because it's just so many options that can push me forward, both financially and mentally. Entrepreneurship would definitely be something I would look into, but even with that battle, it's still a fight.
It is
towards the beginning.
Okay.
And know that how that goes.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? But I guess when I look at how old I am at this point, it's like I don't want to work hard like that. You know what I mean? I wanna do something that's going to be productive, that I can look back and be remembered in some form or fashion. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think my ideal job, if I had to look at it, would be to teach, but it would be on the collegiate level.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I would love to teach a program about society, community, how we deal with demographics, how we deal with all the social, economic things that we have to deal with on that level, and bring it to the community level and show how we could advance and how we can make these things our own and rebuild our communities in this form of things. Because I'm kind of like feeling the nonprofit side of the house, and to be able to open up and Charles, you're already kind of doing something similar to that, and we already do it anyway with the program.
Exactly.
But I think that's where I think the legacy can be born outside of my family. You know what I mean?
Because it comes down to your passion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just don't choose an ideal job off the whim. You know what I'm saying? It has to be a passion, something that you don't feel like you're working. You know what I'm saying? You know that old, saying, if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. It has a lot of validity to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's still going to be some work. There's still going to be some sacrifices. Exactly. There's some days you don't want to do it. But, when you think about it being your passion,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like, once you find that, like, it doesn't feel as
like
hard
work,
to do.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
right.
I
work with a purpose.
Exactly.
What you say, Ms. Howell?
I think it's like how you said, like, when we say, like, it's not hard work, when hard work do come up, people tend to quit.
Yes.
So we can't say that it's not hard work. We got to say, like, it's going to be times where you don't want to do it.
Right.
But if it keep eating at you and you want to do it, then that's your passion.
That's your passion.
Like,
right.
It's not, like, the work is going to be hard regardless whether you don't do it or if you do it. So rather, you might as well go do what you want to do. So, but you just got to understand, like, all right, it's going to be a lot of days where you don't feel like doing it.
Right.
But it's going to be that thing that eats at you, like, I have to
like,
do
why
this
aren't you
because,
doing it? Why aren't you doing it?
Yeah.
Like, here's another opportunity,
Right.
When you
While
eat,
you gonna
sleep,
pass,
breathe it, like,
gonna-
when
like,
you're
no
in the
one's
middle
gonna
of the
be able to
night.
tell
and
you that. It's
yeah.
just going to be you, like you said, waking up in the middle of the night, like, why didn't I just do that?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Now you're going to be mad at yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not more so of, it's not hard work because it's always going to be hard work.
Always
It's
gonna be
hard
hard
work in everything you do.
Right.
So,
True. But
I just think that gets people confused, and a lot of people fall off from what they dream of doing.
Yeah, because you
they
hear the
say,
speed
oh,
bump.
man, it's hard work.
Right.
It's not
Like,
supposed to be
I
hard.
can't. Yeah.
Right.
And then they quit and give up.
And give up in a lot of instances. Yeah, but like you said, success is measured on that piece. It is a 24/7 revolving door. In some sense, you know, when the next man is down, you want to still be up and running because you know you can provide that service or that piece. You know what I mean? So, but you're absolutely right, Charles. You know, if it's your passion, it doesn't seem like hard work. If you enjoy it and you understand the rewards, I mean, when you think about it, Charles and I, we still with this mentoring program with all the stuff that we go through and all the things that we're dealing with.
Yes.
We have been at our points, you know, about like, you know what, I need to walk away. But it's something that eats at you that says, like, you know what,
you've been gone too long.
Who are we doing a disjustice to if we leave? You know, because we have so much to give and we're still learning and evolving. And this is an opportunity to mold and leave a legacy. It may not necessarily be with the family at that point, but it's with someone that you brought up and they can mention your name. Like, yeah, I remember Mr. Henry, Mr. Charles, Mr. Pratt, and all those guys that worked there, and they helped me get here. And I want to pay that back forward. So you see that transition in that time, you know, so it all ties into like, oh, that's my dream job. I was able to leave a legacy in that sense. You know what I'm saying? You know, that hash mark had validity to it. And a foundation to it, you know, even though my time was here to here, look at how much I accomplished in between with that dash. That dash is where it is. Yo, he was the bomb, you know what I mean? You know, and I think that's where a lot of us need to head, you know what I mean? Leaving that legacy, not just beyond the family, but you want to be remembered. You know, not just my family, but you want to know that you made a difference.
And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you have to be like, you know, some super famous person, you know, adoring fans all over the world or whatever. It could just be the people in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? It could be
with this book right here. This is a legacy. You know what I'm saying? Someone can always go and buy this. This is your legacy. You see what I'm saying? So I need to start writing real quick. I don't think I'm gonna be writing.
I'm telling you, man, that's another goal. Got to write my book.
Definitely that. So we definitely appreciate that. So with that said, this last question, real quick, and that'll be the question of the day. So if you had, well, you know what? Let me ask you this, Mr. Howell. Do you think creative writing or journaling is a way out for today's youth?
Yeah, I think it's one of the ways out for today's youth, and not even the youth, just adults, period. Everybody, like anybody who can write, like you should start journaling, because for me personally, that helped me open up just doors like that I seen that were just closing. Like, so if, for instance, if it helped me with my goals. So if I said I wanted to do something, I would just write down in my journal, like, oh, this was my day.
Yeah, which is what they tell us.
And I'm sitting there, I'm writing down my day, and I'm like, hold up. No, I did say I was going to do this yesterday. And then now I got to kind of face myself, like, well, why you didn't do this today?
Right.
And then it'll be a lot of days where, okay, I'm trying to figure out my purpose, right? So I would just sit out and write out what's my purpose. So I would just sit there and write out, like, in my journal, like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? What's my purpose? And then eventually things would just start coming out, and I would just start writing, and that's how this book kind of came about.
Oh,
I agree. It's something about writing it. You know, it
makes it more concrete.
Makes it more concrete. Makes it more real. Makes you more accountable.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just, you know, a passing thought in your head. You know, now it's written. It's like you said, you facing yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like,
now it's either I'm gonna do it or
not
I'm just
going to
kind of
do it.
BS myself.
Exactly.
Like I'm looking at myself like,
right.
All right, so.
And you can start out little. I mean, it could be just a simple to-do list for the day. You know what I'm saying? That can grow into something else. You know what I'm saying?
It was me folding clothes. Like,
right.
I have my
listen. Okay.
Wait,
look,
we're going to get into that part. Yeah,
it's 2020. We're not blinking at blasphemy in this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I folded clothes. Why would I do a thing like that? Like, no.
Right. Just little things like, oh, I folded the clothes today. And then, like, you know, and it just start growing from there. And just things on my list that I wanted to do.
So definitely. I definitely suggest that. Start out with a to-do list for your day. You know, organize your day if you're able to do that, because you get so much more accomplished when you do that. But you will never understand it if you never try it.
Yeah, sure. I would say one thing before you start out to-do list, write out what you did that day.
Oh, after the fact or before the fact?
Before you do a to-do list, because you're going to sit there and try to put yourself in some type of box where you don't really know where you put most of your hours at So you got to first understand what you
self-assessment.
So you got to first see like, okay, I'll be sitting here watching 2-3 hours worth of TV. I can really now I can utilize this time doing this, or I sit here this amount of time doing this. So now you're just writing out your day. Now you can sit there and say, well, okay, now I can plan it out a little bit better because I know exactly what I did that day, and I'm not changing, deviating from what I doing something different.
If you have a routine.
Yeah. So now you can change your routine and see what it is, because a lot of times we just going. You can't make a to-do list if you don't even really know which it is that you're trying to do or what you need to get accomplished.
If you're on autopilot, it makes it,
Right, gotcha.
Live out the day first, then write it out, and then the next day say, okay, I want to kind of schedule
right. So it's a kind of a study of yourself, pretty much, which may take a week or so to understand where you are if you really decide to do that.
Yeah.
But so you young people, start journaling your day. Start writing something down. Start using those vision boards.
You don't even have to get a book. You have your phone right in your hand. Use your notes right in your phone.
Use technology.
I wrote a book in my notes.
Right.
This book, I wrote it in my notes. It's still in my notes to this day.
That's awesome.
Like, I got the whole book right in my notes. So, yeah.
That's what we're talking about. There's
no excuse.
So, with that said, I'm ask this last question, and it's our question of the day. So, if you could create an ideal environment for our youth, what would it be? You can think broad. You don't have to. You can
safe space for them to learn and grow and kind of discover who they are pretty much throughout that process. Just in a free space, allowing them to do that.
Right. So that freedom that you talked about earlier,
and kind of like nurturing on their their skills and stuff like that. So I think that would be like.
Oh, you think that would? That's a good start. That's definitely a good basis for that piece. What about you, Charles?
I'm in 100% agreement. Like a space where they are safe. Number one, because we live here.
Right. Right.
Number two, a place of calm and peace and and continuity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what kids need. They need that consistency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, give them that space to learn who they are, learn what they like, and foster that, nurture that. You know what I'm saying? Help them grow in that. Don't and not putting any limitations on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I can't. Are you sure you want to do?
Staying positive with the messages and stuff like that.
Like, I would never talk to a kid I don't know if you're that good at that. No. Even yesterday we had a young man in the program, and I asked him, how was school? And he's like, everything's okay except for my reading or whatever. I'm like, okay, but you're a strong reader. I didn't even acknowledge, his thought process of him saying to himself
that
I'm not
negativity
exactly.
Right.
No, you're strong.
To that.
You're a strong reader. You're a strong reader. Just battle that negativity with a positive.
Right.
And then later on we had a bit of a reading selection, and I went to him first. I was like, look, give me read out loud the first 2 sentences for me. It took a little bit. He didn't want to do it. I was like, okay, all right, you don't have to do the first 2, but I'm gonna come back to you for the last 2.
Right.
And he did. He came back and he did. And then after that, he was just really, really engaged. He was raising his hand. He was, engaged in everything. So I'm just it's that positive,
right? That's
reinforcement. And don't put any limitations on our children,
right?
And watch them grow.
Right. Got you. So that's excellent. Actually, I commend you on that one. Because you allowed him to be himself in his own time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But you also encouraged him, and you kept it positive. You can do this. But we're going to get back to you because I know you got it in you. You know what I'm saying? We didn't say, we didn't use that negativity to get that, so we were able to get what we got. You know what I mean? So that's definitely good. I think for my ideal environment, for our youth, definitely will incorporate everything that you guys said on that issue. You know, keeping an open forum, definitely allowing them to be children and stuff like that, and putting them in those safe havens and stuff of that nature. But I would definitely want to bring in a whole lot of opportunities for those individuals as well, like you said, giving them the opportunity to choose some things that they may want to do or may be apprehendable to. So like, you know, so we have the rec center. So we ideally, I would want to be able to open up rec centers in the communities. You know what I'm saying? A safe haven, like you said, to for our kids to involve. And then at that point, bring in resources to give them and show them about all the opportunities that are out there for them, that they can be successful, and give them that avenue that they can branch down. At least they know about it, if nothing more. And then see if that's something they want to foster or something they want to travel down or stuff like that. I know sometimes, like in the morning, like on Sunday mornings when I don't have to go to military duty, there's a show called Sunday Morning. And so they'll have excerpts about different people and what they do and how they do it. And you'd be surprised at some of the things that people do, and they making mad money out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And all they doing is just something simple. And somebody's paying them for this. And a lot of dollars. Like, so, for instance, I'll give you one example real quick. They had a guy in there who started out as a young man. All he did was draw birds. And we'll go around different places, draw birds. So now this dude is a billionaire, and all he did was drew birds and made a book out of it. Then he made another book naming all these different type of birds, and he would go around just draw, and he made a living off of that, and he's a billionaire.
That's crazy.
From doing that and writing these books. I think he got 26 books out now.
Wow.
Of different types of species of birds. All he did was draw them and write some information on it. I'm like, he made that much money to do it.
Right, like, what am I doing?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the question,
I'm
like, what
slipping.
if I, you know, am I in my ideal job? Or
Yeah,
am
that
I
part.
messing around?
You
But
know?
it was his passion. It was what he loved to do, and he made. And I would never thought you would make that type of money from just drawing a book based on the species that are out here now. But he did. And it's a lot. When you watch Sunday Morning, it's a lot of shows and people that they interview. You be like, "Hi, what? You doing this? Are you making that type of money? I ain't never even heard of that." You know, so exposure to certain things that we don't really hear about, and especially in the black community that we don't really hear about, and just definitely pushing that entrepreneurship.
Yeah, people pay for convenience.
Yeah, pushing that entrepreneurship and good service. Because we can be good entrepreneurs but have terrible service. You know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely that. So, I don't know where you guys at. We sitting here. We getting it in. Hopefully, you guys take some time to really join into that conversation and get back with us on that question of the day. But, like I said, right now we're going to go ahead and go into a break, and then we're going to get right into it with Mr. Durell. And we'll be talking about his book, Rapgoals. And he has a great acronym for that, too, as well. And he'll discuss that, a 365-day guide to success. So we'll be right back with the Sunday Spotlight.
Awesome. Can I see you, bud? Thank you, sir.
Special Always rocking with DJ Dynamite.
So here we are. We're back with the Sunday Spotlight, and we're here with our guest, Mr. Durell Howell, self-published author of the book called Rapgoals, 365-Day Guide to Success. Let me just do a quick shout-out to Sergeant Jones and Sergeant Dickens that kind of helped me with some of these questions that I'm about to ask, that I asked earlier in our discussion and whatnot, because I was really running behind. So thank you guys for helping me out with that on the spur of the moment, but that's what family does, so I appreciate that. So, but real quick, we're going to jump into this. If you haven't called in, definitely get in. We're going to get into this book here. It is crazy fat.
What y'all doing? Get this book.
I don't know what y'all doing, but this dude, he really put his heart in this.
Page 1, and I'm like
already amazed, right? Already like, yo, that's exactly what I was thinking. You know what I mean? So get in on this discussion. You can hit us up at 1-855-493-6499. Again, that number is 1-855-493-6499. Leave your comments on our Facebook page. Give us a call. Hit Mr. Howell up if you are checking him out right now. Yes. Don't be afraid. We're going to definitely be going through his book. So first of all, let me just get started with you, Mr. Howell. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what made you want to be an author.
Well, myself, I'm electrician by trade. And,
okay, that's what I do.
Really?
Yeah, military wise.
Okay, yeah. So I'm an electrician by trade, and it just was while I was doing the trade, because I started like right out of high school. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought I wanted to do, so I did that, and it was just like when I started doing it, I did it for probably 6 years, and then I realized that, man, it's a lot of like I'm not going to be able to be rich or anything like that unless I'm at work, because the only way you get paid in construction is if you're at work. So
True.
In order to get rich, you got to get rich in your sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that ain't happening.
But you working on the stocks, though. You working on the stocks.
If I'm out here like that, right? So I'm like, okay, so I got to figure something else out. So I started asking around questions to general contractors and stuff like that, and I got into estimating now. So now I estimate for a project management company.
Hey. Oh, nice.
Now that I do that, I'm in there, and I'm like, well, okay, this is cool, but this ain't really the end all be all for me. So that's why I learned how to trade stocks. That's why I learned how to do internet marketing, and then it was just someone had got killed by the cops, and I just got tired of just talking to my friends about the same thing and just.
The conversation being the same.
Just the same thing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just be the change that I want to see. I'm just getting sick and tired. It was eating away at me. I got to say something. This is killing me. And I was reading a lot of, self-help books and a lot of leadership books.
Oh, okay.
And
nice.
I was just like, you know what? All these books are great, but when I'm going back explaining them to my friends, They don't understand who.
It's a little over the head.
Right, it's up here. Something like up here, whatever.
Yeah. It's not even that it's big. It's just like they can't relate to who these people are.
Right.
So they like, I don't know who Dale Carnegie is.
Yeah.
Right. Who is that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I got you.
So hold on. So you don't know who Dale Carnegie is, but I do got a whole verse, or I do got a Nipsey verse that go exactly with this, because these guys are our poets, right?
Right.
So these guys are like our Shakespeare's of our time, and I feel as though like in school I learned a lot about like arithmetic, math, science, all that stuff, right?
Right.
But listening to rap, I learned about life.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
I figured, I can relate this back to like all the stuff that I'm reading back into just using a rap.
Right, because
lyric.
music is such a big genre.
Exactly.
And people relate to music so well. Right.
Like
I mean, there are some epic lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some hot 16, some hot bars that know by heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, if you don't take the time to like really delve
Understand
into it and understand it, like...
Yeah, it'll go past you. So I sat down. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a group up. So I sent out a text message to every one of my friends, and it was about 75 of us, and they all got mad at me at first because I just sent them a mass text message.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Them group text, boy, that'll get you murdered.
It was like we got full. They was like we got apps.
Right.
Like, why am I stuck here?
It was like we got apps where you can put all these people in one spot.
I'm in a hate loop.
I was like, I was like, all right, calm down. So so I said, all right. So I transferred everybody over to the app, Group Me.
Yes.
The group is called Each One Teach One. So in there, it's just a space. Like I said, I was just told everybody to hold me accountable to writing something positive every day, but I'm going to use a rap lyric every day. So I did that for 365 days. Now, it took me a year and a half because at the time, I'm like, look, I'm like 28. I'm like, it's going to be some times where I ain't going to write. Like, I'm going to be outside one day, and I might not make it that weekend.
Right.
It just happens, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, all right, so, but just hold me accountable to that. And I'll hold you accountable to whatever it is that you got going on in your life. And, it was just a space for us black men to come together with, as though, like, if I want to learn how to write a book or say, well, how do you write a book? I can answer that question. Like, all you need to do is X, Y, and Z. And that didn't cost me nothing out my day. And then that helps that man and his family.
Right.
And I just that didn't just stop me from doing nothing. Like, I just kept going with my day, and I helped somebody, and then that in turn come back to me, because if you believe in universal law, you'll get that back. But that's a whole nother.
Well, thanks for not being selfish.
The universe is all about balance.
Thank you for not being selfish, because that's one of the problems we have in the black community.
So I figured, so I did that every day, and then when I got to 365, I was like, you know what? I can really turn this into a book. And then after that, I just started going around just going to different things and just figuring out how to write a book.
Yeah.
Like, if I didn't know how to write
your
a
own
book,
self.
Yeah, I was just on YouTube. I was Googling everything.
Yeah,
and
right.
then I just started bumping into people, and then, you bump into the right people.
The power
of the mind.
Mind energy. That
Talk about that a lot in there.
I mean, because when you start trying to manifest something that is your passion, again, go back to that old talk, the old conversation that we just talked about. You know what I'm saying? The universe hears that. The universe understands that. And because you're attracting that, because you're putting that vibe out there, the opportunities they keep coming at you. Yeah,
and
man.
I just kept meeting people. Like, I was just meeting people just out the blue. Like, oh, you need to do this.
Oh, like, oh yeah, I'm a publisher. Like, what? Like,
really? Yeah.
Like, how did it even happen?
All right, this is what it is. So
right?
I started just doing everything that everybody started telling me. Then that took like another year and a half, and then the book finally came out April 1st, and I just been kind of just rocking and rolling from there, and I actually started making the books myself. Because they were charging me too much, because as you see, it's a thick book, so I got 400 pages. So they charge you by the page, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, they charging me too much, man. I got to charge like almost $30 for this book, and they people gonna really be trying to like not pay this $30.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, so I got to figure out a different way. So I'm on YouTube, I'm Googling things. I'm like, I'm gonna figure out how to make my own book.
Right.
So I figured out how to make my own book. It was a lot of trial and error, but this is like one of the books that I made right here. The one you got I found the new publisher. He actually does it cheaper from me, but but I still know how to make books though.
Right. Because it's a skill.
Yes,
Like,
definitely.
I really
definitely.
know how to. So I became my own publisher, and I started making my own books, and it just was an experience from there. Like I didn't even know I was going to become a publisher.
I'll be tapping on you.
Bro.
Tapping on.
When I'm ready to write my book, man, I'm coming to you.
Yeah,
I didn't even want to. I didn't know I was going to become an author, and then now I'm like, well, I'm a publisher too, in the same
token. So you ended up
this is
taking 2 for 1. You got one
that I even put down like on my goal list. Like, say you have your goal list. This is not something I put on my goal list.
Right.
My publisher,
right? That wasn't in the vision. That wasn't in the vision.
So, but that goes to tell you, like they say God laughs at you when you make plans.
Yeah, I'm telling you, right?
Like, so,
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you just kind of just go with what it is, like, and just keep going. That's all I've been doing, and just keep going and just doing what I'm doing. So I met you, just being like, this is just me, just being in the right places at the right time. I don't believe in coincidences. So. I believe everything happens for a reason, so I put myself in these places, and I'm meeting the right people,
to help you move forward,
you know,
make it a little easier, the journey a little easier each time. So, what is Rapgoals?
Okay,
what does the acronym stand for, and what is Rapgoals?
All right, so I'm gonna do it so they can see it on camera. So RAP, it stands for responsibility, accountability, progression. These are my 3 keys to life. You can use that in any area of life. So no matter what you're going through, when you hold yourself responsible and you hold yourself accountable, you will progress from there. Right. So, like on the front of the book, you'll see all these rappers on it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You got all these rappers on there and stuff like that. Yeah.
So when people see this, they like, "Is this a rap book?"
Right.
Are you a rapper?
That's the hook, though. That's the hook, though.
So everybody think I'm a rapper. I'm like, no, I just learned stuff from rap. Like I just learned about life through rap, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm using rap to hold us responsible, to hold us accountable, and progress from there. So each day in here, that's why I say it's a 365-day guide to success. Now, when I say success, I don't mean like money or anything like that, because that was crazy.
Right, monetary.
No coincidence that you brought that up. I didn't know you was going to bring that question up earlier, right? About success, right? Mm-hmm. So, you know, I say success like you being the best you possible. So each day is pulling something different out of you to become a better you. Right. And you're like the student and the teacher throughout this process. Now, you'll see lines at the bottom of the book, and those lines are your journal. So you just kind of journal through the whole process. You got like a little journal for that day. You know, you can look at that particular and do that assignment for that.
Right. And then how did that relate to you in that particular day? You know, I'm on my 223rd day. How did that this quote affect me? Where do I stand on that? Yes. The opportunity just to put down a few words. You ain't got to put down your whole life, but just a few words to reflect
it
that.
Might be
that's
something for that day. Like I got a lot of stuff in there about meditation. So one day might be about, you know, just sitting down writing for 20 minutes, or just actually the assignment might not even be writing. It might just be sitting in silence for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Just taking a moment to regroup and breathe.
Like
I can't tell you how great I feel after I have a meditation session. You know what I'm saying? Like where I like cut my phone off. I'm away from the TV. I mean, it's just me.
Yeah, I think you have to do it.
And I'm still in the beginning phases, because you know once you start to kind of meditate, your mind wanders. But you gotta have an anchor, have a center,
to bring it back, bring
your thoughts back. You know,
always
what I'm saying?
Focus on your breath,
and that's where I'm at.
You're breathing.
Yes,
and that's where I'm at.
Like they teach you how to. I seen somebody was talking about like with monks. The first thing that they teach you is how to breathe. They don't care how old you are.
Right.
They're teaching you how to control your breath. Because once you can control your breath, then you're able to.
And I'm telling you, man, once I found, when I found that spot, I mean, it was just,
it's like a computer. Your mind is a computer, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I say. When you meditate, it's just like you're wiping out you're clearing
the slate. Right.
Your computer, and then now you're empty. Now you have all these thoughts. Some new thoughts can come in there. Now it's not cluttered anymore. So your phone, like, so if you got your phone, you got all these apps open up. It's gonna run slow.
Right.
But that's just like you just decomposing and you.
Exactly.
And we need that. We need that with the lives that we have. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody needs that.
Yeah, I'm saying even with us. as black people, we need that.
Yeah, I mean,
because
we live
we're
a
constantly
stressful
on the
life.
move, but we're taught to be on the move. We have to be on a hustle, 24/7, which is true. But we still got to take that time for self. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing we don't do.
It's stressful being black.
Well, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So that's why we especially with the mental ailments that we have to deal with, mental issues that we deal with on a regular basis that we try to hide. We have to decompress.
Absolutely.
The stress that we're under just being black. We have to take moments for ourselves to regroup and understand our purpose and understand how can we move forward, and not just that, but in a better manner. So yeah, definitely, son, man. So let's get into some of these quotes, Charles.
Bro,
I mean, I know you got I got a couple in my hand, but I
okay. So day 9.
Day 9.
Okay,
Day 9.
I'm assuming this
is
is supposed to be Who Am I?
Yeah, that's J. Cole.
Okay.
Who Am I?
Okay.
That's from one of my favorite songs too.
So and it's definitely one of mine too. All right, so you have 2 quotes in here. So the first one from J. Cole: "My only adversary was my own mind. Killed my ego. Now I'm snapping like it's '09 with a gold mine of inspiration for y'all." Listen. When he said that, you know what I'm saying? It took me a minute to understand, what are you talking about? What did he say? And I was like, oh, snapping, like '09. Hey. And it was such a
that's a double entendre.
It was a double entendre.
Yes,
exactly. It was such a free spirited time in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? People were dancing. We were in the club. You know, you didn't have the stress on your mind, and you let that ego go. You know, and you weren't pretending. You know what I'm saying? Second, which is one of my all-time favorite quotes from one of my all-time favorite storytellers is Andre 3000. He says, "Spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors, they dip." Listen. Listen.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about a rocket ship, it is not designed to look backwards. It is all it does is just push.
Forward.
You know what I'm saying? It just goes forward. It goes to what it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? And I like how you put it, whereas, you say, understand all the answers you're looking for are for inside of you, but you're not just asking the right questions. Like come on, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta think outside that normal limiting thought process that we always have of ourselves.
Yes.
So I mean, I know this quote from Andre. I know it was in the International Players Anthem. Yeah. I was just and everybody just really just kind of glanced over it. But when I'm telling you,
I don't go past things like that. I hear things like that.
Oh my gosh!
That's the type of thing that I'm saying. I'll catch that.
Yes.
And I'll put that in the book because spaceships don't come equipped with rear view mirrors. They dip. So either I'm just straightforward. I'm not going back. So I'm
not going back.
So whenever I'm thinking about going back, I hear that Andre in my head.
Yes.
Keep your heart, and I'm like this.
Keep your heart. 3 stacks. Keep your heart. I'm what? One of my all-time favorite verses ever.
Nice.
Besides the art of storytelling part 1 and 2, but that's again by Andre. So
I gotta find. So for me, I'm just saying, there's one in here on page day 107. I think that's a piece that we sometimes slip away from in some sense like that.
Yes.
So this is a quote by Jay-Z, pretty much. It says, arm, leg, arm, head. This is God body. Knowledge, wisdom, freedom, understanding. We just want our equality. Food, clothing, shelter. Help a nigga find peace.
Yes.
Jay-Z. So
yes.
Take a moment. So with that, so when you saw that quote in your comments on the bottom, this is what's interesting because a lot of people wouldn't even saw this piece either. And actually, I didn't really realize that too. You put it together in a sense to say that the first initials in arm, leg, arm, head create the acronym for Allah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I wouldn't have never thought about it like that. So where were you going with that? What was you feeling that day?
That's not something I created. That's from the gods and the earth, man. They are 5%ers, right? So they believe, we are God body,
right?
So arm, leg, arm, head. we God body.
Right,
so
right,
my
right.
whole like I am God.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I am a creator.
Exactly.
So,
oh my God,
you know,
man.
Yeah.
Listen,
but that day
and then
right
it-
there,
it-
we
it-
talking about, you know,
we can talk about that forever.
Right. It's
Listen,
it's deep,
it's so
and that's
deep.
what I wanted to point out in this particular. It's so deep.
Yes.
We understand the language. We can probably quote it, but we don't really understand the total meaning behind it. And for you to break it down, this represents the 360 degrees of the man and man's knowledge. Full circle. Jay-Z is referring to the beliefs of God and earth, the 5 percenters. That breakdown is excellent. Excellent, because most people who read this won't look beyond that.
Yeah.
exactly.
The deeper
But that's
picture. For
exactly
you to bring
what
that out,
Yeah.
great job.
But that
with
quote
that.
right there, arm, leg, arm, head, knowledge, wisdom, freedom, understanding. That's the right there. That's
Right.
The 5 percenters. That's what they believe in. Is first you got knowledge, you got wisdom, you got freedom, you got understanding,
Right.
and so on. It's 9.
Right, but everybody else who normally,
And
and
this-
even myself, when I
Right.
hear that, I wouldn't have never pertained it to that.
And this pairs. It definitely pairs well with another Jay-Z quote. Like nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Self, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and I saw that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I was just looking this morning. It was one of the first Facebook posts I saw. It was like an old interview from Art on Arsenio Hall. Barry White was saying how he, his God. And I mean, the thing about it is, like, yeah, we are creators.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, is there a divine power that oversees that? Yeah, depending on how you feel. Depending on how you feel. But to be able to create time, because we created time, we can create children, we create buildings, we create jobs, we create money, we create all these different things, we, and it's just like, yeah, like we have to understand that we are connected to
In a
the
lot
universe.
of ways, in so many ways.
We are, you know what I'm saying? We are literally made up of everything that is in the universe.
Say that's our father, right? So I gotta be who my father.
I gotta be who my father is.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Man.
So when, so with that said, so we could probably go on and on in this book about, because you have some great analogies with this. You know what I mean? I see a bunch of stuff there was another one in here that I saw too. I was like, okay, it's called Balance, but I can't remember what day that was under.
Balance?
Yeah, Balance. There was. I thought that was an interesting one as well, but I lost that page.
It's a lot. See, what I did was I was trying not to put to save money.
Yeah, right.
It would've been
The exact page.
Right.
I'd have had so many. It would have been like, man, I'd have been paying so much money. But that's why I got the front part. Like, you can look at the table of contents. Like, you know what? All right, let me look for balance on that day, and then you can just find it. Like, oh yeah, balance is day such and such, and then you can just go from there.
Right. You can go directly to that quote or whatever the case may be, or you're looking at the quotes and then you can go and read on it. So when you did this book, what do you think is your best 2 quotes or best 3 quotes in this book?
I know that's a tough question.
Because you got a lot of
The
quotes.
balance is day 132.
Say what?
132.
132.
Okay.
132 it is.
What is day 132? See, I got so many days. I can't. Yeah. Oh, that's the Wale. Yeah, that was off that. That's one of my favorite Wale albums.
Balance. So that is the Balance one.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah, man, yes. First of all, can
album
we talk about
about
that album? It'd be like one of the best albums ever made.
That's
Yeah,
like
Wale.
the-
He ripped that one. He ripped that one.
But oh my god, he dropped so many dimes.
so-
especially like with the glass egg, his interview or his talk with Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, you saw that? Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's in the album. I mean, it's on the album. Like
he was
it's
talking about the balance of the egg.
Yeah.
Right.
like you and that's part of the success piece. You know what I'm saying? Like and that the glass egg is the success. It's like, okay, now that you got it, you know what I'm saying? You had it in your hand. It's like, it's all good, but as you continue to grow in your success, it grows up and out of your hand, and it's balanced on this really tiny point.
thing.
Right.
And you gotta
make it.
Yeah, you got to teeter-totter, whatever.
you gotta make
And it is. It's balance is a struggle.
Yeah.
It's always a struggle from one side to the other.
Yeah.
But it's good to see another perspective from that,
Yeah,
and what
absolutely.
balance can be and how we can use it to attain where we need to go. But is that one of your favorite quotes on your favorite pieces or that?
No,
But that's the one I was referring to as well. You know, with Wale's quote and stuff. I'm like, because we need that balance, and that meditation, that peace allows us to bring that balance and refocus and do things of that nature when we do it. So, but man, what do you think? What do you think, Mr. Howell? What's your best quote? You think we're limited to that? What's your best quote? Put it like that.
See, it's hard for me because each day is something different, right?
Yeah,
right.
And like usually, what I tell people is when I open it up, that's usually what I needed to hear that day. So
you just open it up somewhere, and then you look at
all
the quote.
These are like my favorite quotes.
Okay,
like,
so let's do this. So let's close the book. Let's close the book. I want you to take a moment, and then I just want you to pick it up, Mr. Howell, and open up to a page, and you let me know what your thoughts were that day when you wrote that particular piece.
Okay,
so what page did you end up on?
I'm gonna see which one this is.
What page?
Okay, 171.
171.
Fear is not real, but danger is very real. And this is the Big Sean quote. He said, "Lately, I've been talking to ghosts. Didn't learn faith in school, but that's what I'm tested the most." So, and then I used a quote from Will Smith from the movie. What's the movie with him and Jaden Smith? After Earth.
Oh, After Earth. Yeah, I remember that.
So when he was talking to Jaden, he was like, "Fear is not real, but danger is very real." Yeah. So I kind of broke that down a little bit, and I was just talking about fear. Fear is the thing that paralyzes us sometimes, and it stops us from
doing a lot of things, from moving forward, for taking that leap, to do entrepreneurship.
And a lot of times people think that fear is just like you're not supposed to have fear, like. You're supposed to have fear.
Yeah, I mean, it's built into our DNA. It's one of our building blocks.
It's an emotional piece.
I mean, it's a survival.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So, a lot of people think that, okay, because I have fear, that means I have to stop.
Or I'm a punk. Or I'm this, or I'm that. Or it's negative.
A lot of the times, most of the times, I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I'm scared as hell, but I'm just doing them because I'm like,
we got to look beyond that.
Yeah, I got to look either beyond that. Like, I got to look at, like, okay, I look at it like this. It's two ways. So life is going to be difficult either way you slice it, right? So if I don't do what I want to do, life is going to be difficult as hell because I'm not going to have any money. I'm going to be miserable with what I'm doing.
Right, and I'm
not happy.
Right.
But if I am doing what I'm doing, I'm going to run into all type of obstacles and whatever it is that comes with that. And I'm going to just have to deal with that. So either way, I might as well go with what
it's going to be best for you and it's going to make you happy.
Like,
right.
Why be miserable?
Because success does not grow in comfort.
No, it never has.
And
that's what makes it so hard because it's not picking up a pencil and then making it happen.
Like even yesterday, okay, so a couple of days ago, an opportunity presented itself, from my side business and everything. And at first, my first thought was like, hell yeah, and then that fear.
Right.
It's like, no, I'm not ready. We're not ready. And I was
never going to be ready.
And I was just like, no, damn that. We're ready.
Right.
We're more than prepared for this.
Right.
And I put myself out there. The person hit me back. Hey, I like what you're doing. Please come on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I was like, cool. I told my partner. Partner was like, cool, let's do it. And I'm just like, and then,
we do it here every day. Every time we come to this show, it's like I don't know what we're going to get into, but we're going to get into something.
We're going to get into something.
But there is some fear that something's not going to go right or whatever. But we can't think about that because there's a bigger picture.
Absolutely.
That there's more importance in getting the word out about all these organizations and people like yourself that are doing things to help better the community, and when they need to know. Because we've been in the dark long enough.
Yes.
And if we can provide some light, we're going to do it from our perspective, the best way we can.
Shout out to Mix Station Radio for changing the narrative.
Yeah, definitely that. Definitely that.
All
So
right,
what you got real quick, because we got to wrap it up.
We can talk all night, but I know Nick got to go.
But what you got? You look like you found something real quick. You hints on
Charles
something.
Said 157, right? And remember I told you there's no such thing as coincidence, right?
Yes, sir.
That's exactly what I was talking about. Like, life is difficult.
Yes, sir.
That's what I was talking about on that day, and it's just see what I mean when I say when I open the book up.
Yeah.
These type of things happen. Like I didn't make
Right.
I just went to that day because.
You just went to that business party
because
it's
stop holding the wall up,
because I don't even know what's on that day. I'm just like, all right, let me look, and then I looked, and I was like, that's exactly what I said.
Mm-hmm.
We even
Before we even got to it. No coincidence.
Right.
Yeah, so it's no coincidence. Always know that.
I know
like
that's
it.
right. I know that's
I really
right.
I really do like this one. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing we don't give our real, I definitely have to preface that, our real hip hop artists credit for is the ability to, like you said, use some double entendres to say something, and it may sound hot in the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, that was part of the hot, whatever. But once you delve into it and you see, and we don't give them enough credit for being smart enough, creative enough, intelligent enough, and open enough to pour out that kind of poetry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But this book right here
this
is a better understanding exactly what
much?
they say with the breakdown. With the breakdown, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you got my 25. I'm in.
You take Cash App, PayPal.
I know that.
Oh yeah, I got you.
All that.
So, real quick, what are your plans for the future? If people want to get in contact with you, what do you? Are you working on another book? Are you just in the dorm trying to make sure this one sells and moves forward? And like, if people want to get in touch with you, because I know you're willing to share information on how to self-publish, how to get the right people, the connections and stuff like that. How can they reach out to you? How can they get to you?
All right, you can find me on my Facebook at Durell Howell or Rapgoals on Facebook, or you can go on Instagram, find me on at Rapgoals or Durell Howell, whichever your choice. You can go on there. You can send me a DM, ask me how to write a book. I can tell you that's nothing. We can talk about that for a while. I also do videos every day. So for everybody who don't have the book, I do videos for each and every day.
Okay.
To go along. So right now I'm on day 262. So you can just
follow that on that. And that's on Instagram?
That's on Instagram, YouTube, and everything. Rapgoals on YouTube. So everything is Rapgoals. So
right. So if you Google that or find that.
Yeah, my website, Rapgoals, everything is Rapgoals, and you will find me. And you'll see me saying, "What's going on, guys? What's up?"
Right. Definitely gonna have to check that.
Doing something like that. And as far as me doing something else, as far as like the future, honestly, I don't know yet.
I mean, the podcast sounds like it's going well. You might have to branch that out a little further. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
mean, I honestly go into. I didn't know I was gonna do this, right?
Right.
So this is something that kind of just came to me. So I'm just kind of just going into just following whatever lays on that. Right. Like I'm going down this path. I bumped into publishing. I became a publisher. Like this is just all like. From now on, this is God plan. This ain't mine.
Right.
So, I'm just going to keep going and just keep doing what I'm going to do. I'm not going to stop working. So, as long as I keep working and doing what I'm doing, the next thing is going to happen. Because that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it's not coincidence. Yeah, exactly. So, that's what happens when you do what you're supposed to be doing. So, definitely that. I don't really have, like, the second book, like, in mind. I started, like, the first 21 days out of it. But then something told me to stop and just focus on this. Because what happened was, before this, I was just, doing a lot of just side jobs. All over the place. So I was just like this, just moving around from left to right? So I'm doing everything. I'm always busy. We always busy. And like, each, we got this hustle, that hustle, right? So I'm busy, but I'm not going anywhere because I'm moving left to right.
Right.
When I started focusing on my book and just doing that, I started elevating and moving horizontally. Just
instead of vertically,
you
started growing.
Yeah.
So I just growth factor.
So I just started going like that, growing like that. So, just focusing on one thing and just going.
I ain't mad at you, man. From what I'm seeing and what else, this is a really good book, and
I'm very excited.
I definitely encourage our listeners, and for those who aren't watching, Charles, Rapgoals is the book. Author, Mr. Durell Howell. Durell Howell is definitely in the house. This is going to take you a long time to get through this book anyway, but there's some great information in there. Yeah, if you read a page a day, it's a year. It's
literally a year.
There's thoughts that you can relay for that day. Definitely pick up this book. We're going to definitely put his information on our site so that you can get in contact with him as well. We suggest that you definitely hit him up on Facebook. Rapgoals, just Google that on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, and get involved and support this young entrepreneur and artist, in my opinion, who's an author who just put it out there and just went with it. You know what I mean? So definitely get with him and get a copy of this book. And with that said, Charles, you good? I know you want to say more now. I know he woke now. He definitely woke.
I need another hour.
But yeah, definitely, Mr. Howell. Like I said, we can't thank you enough.
I'm impressed. I'm proud.
Yeah, definitely know that you out there doing your thing, man.
Appreciate that. I can always come back, man.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You are coming back.
We'll definitely get you.
You
back
are
on.
definitely coming back.
So with that said, we've come to the conclusion of the Sunday Spotlight.
Boo.
Yeah. Oh, boo now, huh? we come to the conclusion of the Sunday Spotlight. We want to thank our special guest, Mr. Durell Howell, a self-published author of the book called Rapgoals, 365 Days to Success. Definitely pick up this book. It has a lot of information in there, and you will be amazed at some of the quotes and the meanings behind it. And we want to definitely thank you for coming. We also want to say thank you to DJ Big Nick and the Mix Station Radio family for holding down a One More One Less mentoring program and the Sunday Spotlight. And last but not least, we want to thank you, the listeners, for tuning in to the Sunday Spotlight Radio Show. If you want to learn more about the Sunday Spotlight Radio Show and One More One Less mentoring program, you can check us out on our Facebook page at facebook.com/OMOL mentoring or visit our website at omolmentoring.org. We're also looking for sponsors, so if you like what you heard and you want to get your business or your program out there, become an official sponsor of the Sunday Spotlight, or just donate to the Sunday Spotlight Radio Show and give us a call. We are a 501c3 organization, and we have multiple sponsorship packages to accommodate any budget, and any donations that you give are a tax write-off for either you or your business. So give us a call today at 443-562-7455, and let's get started on promoting your brand and supporting your business. And once again, thank you for listening to the Sunday Spotlight, and remember, stay focused. And whenever you can, help our young people reach for the stars. Good night.
JD, beats, wanna know, SVP.